Hello everybody and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about Agents of Mayhem. I'm Ben from What Culture.
And I'm Scott from What Culture.
We're having to crouch down because the top of the camera's going to crop. There we go.
If our heads disappear, then yeah.
Got to stay down.
It's just life.
Agents of Mayhem.
Yes.
It's out today. Developed by Volition.
Yes.
You are the man who plays all the games. Every single one.
No, I do my best. This seems to be...
Get down.
Just take cover. The Agents of... cover.
The Agents of Mayhem.
So basically, yes, Agents of Mayhem we got codes through alongside Sonic Mania. If our Sonic Mania video's gone up, I recommend you check that out because I got very, very excited. I talk about as fast as just for the whole video.
Yeah.
But let's slow things down because Agents of Mayhem...
It's a very slow and relaxed game, right?
It's a thing. Like, I mean, did you play the Saints Row games?
I played Saints Row the Third.
Right.
And Gat Out of Hell.
Oh, cool, okay. So what did you think for the jump between 3 to Gat Out of Hell?
I really enjoyed Saints Row the Third,
yep.
But then I felt that Gat Out of Hell, and from what I've heard by extension 4, is pretty much the same game.
Yeah.
Slightly different narrative.
Yeah, so 4 was the one, because obviously 3 was like lightning in a bottle, and that was the one that they took the initially crazy stuff from 2 and made a whole mental, like way more over the top game out of it. And then 4 was the one where like you kind of felt them as a dev studio being like, well, where do we go from here?
Yeah.
And then their response was, let's put superpowers in and let's go more over the top. And that was what went into Gat Out of Hell.
Yeah.
Agents of Mayhem is very much an extension of that mentality.
Okay.
Which it lands and it doesn't. Like it's strange because it's a third-person shooter. Very much, it's the Saints engine. It's the Saints style of gameplay. But they've taken away the stuff that made Saints so like effective as a satire.
Okay.
Like you know how in Saints Row 3 you open with like the bank robbery, and then but hilariously they're all like celebrities, and the people who are getting robbed are like, can you sign my thing?
Yeah.
And whatever. Yeah. And it's one of those things that makes me kind of realize that like comedy is just as much about timing as it is about juxtaposition. If you're gonna do something like this, and Agents of Mayhem it feels like you're playing one of the cartoons that they would mimic or whatever or parody in Saints 3. Okay. Like in Saints 3 you have that guy that joins you who's like from Nightblade. Right. Which is like an in-world, over-the-top cartoon.
Yeah.
Agents of Mayhem is nigh on Nightblade, like the mentality of that, like really over-the-top, really macho. Right. Like really, it's kind of like a 90s cartoon that is like self-aware. Okay. And that is its greatest strength and also its most off-putting thing. Okay. Because you see every joke coming, and yeah.
Couple of things.
Go on.
Firstly, and this perhaps ties into what you were just saying, but I think didn't they do for the promotion of this, they did a video that they put on YouTube and then they put an uncensored version of that video on Pornhub, I believe, because that's the kind of thing they're going for here, which is a bit on the nose. Second thing was, I and everyone else I spoke to about this game just assumed it had co-op because of the whole Agents thing, and then it's a single-player game.
Yeah,
right?
It is. Which is, I thought that because to be honest, going into it, I mean, I think this will mimic the vast majority of people's experiences with it. This hasn't been advertised all that much, not anywhere near as much as a Saints Row,
unless you're on Pornhub.
Unless you're checking out Pornhub, and so that was the thing going into this. I was like, okay, what have they done? Because I must have put about 100 hours into Saints 3. Like I loved that game. Yeah. And so like it's one of those things where you always play as 3 characters. That's the thing.
Can you switch between them?
Yes, which is cool, because they've basically, ostensibly, what they're going for is an Overwatch-style hero shooter, but in a third-person thing. Okay. So everybody is like hyper over the top. They've all got their like personalities. They're all a little bit wacky. They're all a little bit crazy. Some people will really take to that. It reminded me a little bit of Sunset Overdrive or Drawn to Death, which I see what they're going for with those games. I think they will resonate with some people, but for me, they don't. Right. They feel too forced. Okay. But yeah, you always have 3 people. So at the beginning, you have a dude called Hollywood who's like he's all self-obsessed. He's always on his phone. It's very threadbare. Right. There's a shotgun sailor man who throws harpoons, and there's a twin pistol chick, and she just throws out energy blasts and stuff.
It just lends itself to wanting to play with 2 other people, though, doesn't it?
Yes, and the quest objectives that you get. I mean, I've only played it for a couple of hours, but the quest objectives that you get, and the opening mission is very much like a very basic like raid kind of thing. Right. You're just going through, and like, everyone's got life bars. All the hit points are popping off. Yeah. Like you're collecting cash and crafting collecting cash and different like XP boosts and stuff. Right. And that's the stuff where you just go, you made a one of them. Right. You made like a, I don't know, like just sort of...
So does it play very similarly to the Saints Row game?
Yeah, definitely. Way more closer to like Saints 4, where you had way more aerial combat, because you would jump...
Superpowers.
Yeah, you had superpowers. You were always in midair. And like, yeah, Agents has a triple jump. because they have to go one step further, man. And like, why not? Yeah. It works. Like, it's handy. It does mean that you're like jumping around a hell of a lot in combat. Yeah. It just feels like there's not that much to it. Like I said, the reason that Saints worked, especially Saints 3, was because they were parodying, they were embracing the tonality that like was against GTA.
It was an over-the-top parody.
Yeah, and it was like they answered all the sorts of things that we got sick of in GTA. Like, you could just hit triangle and like just jump through a window to land in a car. You didn't have to open the door and do whatever. And it's little things like that that let Saints have its own identity, and that's why 3 worked so well. Yeah. Agents doesn't have anything to bounce off of, and it feels like they're just sort of taking like the base hero shooter like template stuff, like XP boost, leveling up, like, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Parodying something that doesn't really need to be
like trying to be all like super self-aware. It's kind of like if like Guardians of the Galaxy's like base mentality was a video game, where it's like we're gonna or like Marvel comedy, it's like we're gonna acknowledge every like set piece.
Right, but if the other Marvel films didn't actually exist,
yes,
it's just Guardians, like, what are they parodying?
Yeah.
They're just being
it's just
for the sake of it.
It kind of, it's the end of the first mission. You go back to your home base. All the cutscenes are cartoons as well, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
It's like 90s art school.
What is it like? What's the story? What are you doing? Why are there Agents of Mayhem? It's in the future, right?
Yes, so it's actually set in the Saints Row universe, or like one of the fractured universes that was created at the end of Gat Out of Hell, which I guess you'll know because you finished it.
Sort of. I don't know.
Apparently at the end of because I haven't played Gat Out of Hell. I played 3 and 4. Okay. Gat Out of Hell. Apparently at the end of that, the Saints did something that fractured a whole bunch of universes, and the Agents of Mayhem are one of the universes, where like your like Earth is being is like a big old factional war between the Agents of Mayhem and or they're like a group against the Legion, which they all stand for stuff. I forget what Mayhem stands for, but the Legion thing is like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen doing things against whatever. It all stands for stuff.
Right.
But the point is that you get like 15 superheroes and one evil, nefarious villain, and that's it. That's your setup.
Okay. You're doing it on your own.
Yeah.
Can't get over how it's not.
It's a weird missed opportunity. Right. Although I think that considering how chaotic a lot of the gameplay is, like at any given time, there's always something exploding, or like, you know, like different sort of waves of enemies coming.
You have a mayhem meter or something.
You have a mayhem meter. Yeah, every character has like a special ability and a mayhem ability. So like they kind of vary from like say like Twin Pistol Chick. Like she has I wish I could remember her name, but her Twin Pistol Woman, not Tracer, but whatever. She like has a thing where she unleashes like an energy blast. Like it's just she's just like. She has the twin pistol, she has an energy blast, like a thing, and then Hollywood has like a grenade. And it's like, yeah, you did the thing with the assault rifle and the grenade again. And like I've heard that like the later characters that you get like are way more varied. But it makes me wonder why the hell they didn't open the game with to put their best foot forward.
Right.
Because like if what they're parodying or like they're trying to build upon is hero shooter tropes, then they're playing directly into them. Yeah. Like not every game needs an assault rifle, an Uzi, a shotgun, like the basic template stuff. And yeah.
Saints Row the Third started incredibly strongly.
Oh, hell yeah, it did.
The Kanye song and then the skydiving through the plane and stuff, just over the top and
so
mad. Good. Just such a good introduction. Is there anything like this that sort of eases you into, wow, this world is wacky and crazy and I'm ready to get stuck into it?
Not with as much deftness, I would say. Not with as much like confidence. Like you've kind of got in Saints 3, and they sort of recaptured that feel in Saints 4 as well. You had the great sequence in 4 where you like don't want to miss a thing comes on from Apocalypse, and you're like working through this base and you're taking off on a rocket, and it's amazing. Okay. Both of those games have really, really solid intros. Agents of Mayhem is just, you get the cartoon where you're the agents and you land and you take out the evil villain, and then you're just shooting stuff, and that's it. And yeah, like the mechanics are great. Volition are a very, very good studio. I've always been like a personal favorite of mine. Punisher 2004, but
it's fun to play.
Yes,
but currently there's not too much of a reason to stick around in. Story and
it reminds me a little bit, not fully because this is going to be insulting, but like it reminds me a little bit of Ghost Recon Wildlands, where it's just like, well, here's a bunch of objectives, here's a lot of like, here you go. Like there's no propulsive like sense of why you would do these things, but
desire to do them.
Yeah, but like on a whiteboard in an executive meeting, these things are quote unquote fun. Therefore, we should have them.
Right.
And it's that feel.
Do you do the thing where you do the missions in an area and you take over a portion of the city?
Yep.
Change the color of the map. Yeah. And then you can buy properties sometimes.
You can't buy property. I don't think.
Okay.
But there are procedurally generated underground dungeon rooms, which are just straight out of Mass Effect 1. Which is like they pick a bunch of templates and they lock them together, and you go in. That you sort of take out the Legion troops that way.
See, I never played Saints Row 4, and now I really want to play Saints Row 4.
I would still recommend
I want to play it in co-op, and I was looking at some footage before this came out, and I thought, this. You know what? I know what I'm going to get with this game, and I think anyone who's looking at this game is going to know what they're going to get, and they're either going to like it or dislike it. But I would be so on board with this game. excuse me, I would be so on board with this game if it had some kind of co-op or multiplayer.
Yeah, for me, it's not the multiplayer stuff. It's the attitude towards the script and the way that the script's written. Like the script, Saints 3 and 4 was so well written, like just comedically brilliant, like very, very self-aware. Very biting, like lots of like genre tropes being mixed and matched and stuff. And I just don't think Agents has that. Even from day one, a lot of people sort of looked at it and went, "Okay, you've gone down the super wacky route," which is fine. Like you can have fun with that. But I just think it's missing a little. It's missing that. Like it's not that necessary for one thing, and it just feels like they've kind of embraced all the most threadbare elements of where Saints went, without retaining the heart. Like the reason Saints worked is because we cared about the characters at the heart of it.
Okay.
Like that stuff kind of mattered. Yeah, my initial thing is that it plays fine, and it's a third-person shooter with a lot of hero elements. Like.
Well, you're going to continue to play it.
I am.
And don't sound too excited.
I'm not. Sorry.
Sonic,
yeah.
You've got so many things to play at the moment.
Sonic Mania.
You're going to finish up Agents of Mayhem.
Yes.
We'll do a full review and break it down and give it a score and that kind of stuff in the coming week or so. And don't forget is it next week that we got the Uncharted Lost Legacy?
Yes, which is over to you for
That's me. I'm doing that. So we got loads of reviews. We're hitting game season. Loads of stuff coming. So we'll have loads more videos like this. But for now, your initial take is that it's some work to do.
Yeah, I think it's obviously going to be one of those games with that sort of sense of humor that a lot of people go, they're just doing crazy stuff, and that's great. A lot of people can get on board with that. I wish I could more. Whatever. I need a little bit more to it. Mechanically, objectively, it's still a very solid third-person shooter, and if you like the combat from the Saints games, it's very much more of that. Right. In the moment, firing off all the projectiles and triggering your mayhem abilities, it's fun. Right. And I don't think it has that deftness to the script in terms of the satire that the Saints games had.
Well, there we go. Let us know what you think of Agents of Mayhem if you've got it, or if you're planning on getting it in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I have been Ben from What Culture. I am an agent of Mayhem.
And I've been Scott from What Culture. I am an agent of Legion.
Oh, I suppose
Bring
we should
it
fight
on
now and do fart jokes. Thank you for watching, everyone. We'll see you soon.
Bye.